このジェットコースターで被害者の岸田さんを殺害した犯人はあなただ。
Kudo Shinichi, the savior of the police force, is a name synonymous with brilliant deduction and an unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth. Many marvel at his case-solving prowess, perhaps thinking it's just an innate gift. But Shinichi's genius is built on cultivated skills of sharp observation and relentless logical reasoning, honed long before any single case made him famous. His unfortunate transformation into Conan Edogawa only further showcased his adaptability, forcing him to solve crimes with new limitations, yet his core methods remained. So, how can you sharpen your mind to think like Kudo Shinichi? What are the key techniques for observation and deduction, and how can you apply them to solve the mysteries in your own life or studies? Welcome to Anipreneur. This is where I break down your favorite anime characters and give you realistic methods on how to emulate their core strengths. Please consider subscribing if you would enjoy that type of content. I am going to explain 3 core stages to developing a Shinichi-like mind: the observation and information stage, the deduction and hypothesis stage, and the verification and articulation stage. You must not gloss over any stage. By doing so, you might miss crucial clues in your own analysis, and you'll just demonstrate a lack of thoroughness, which no true detective can afford. But what you do is entirely up to you. So, without further ado, here's how to think like Kudo Shinichi. You might think you see everything, but Shinichi teaches us that true observation is an active, meticulous process. Before any deduction can occur, you need accurate and comprehensive data. The first step towards this is 1. To cultivate keen awareness. Shinichi notices minute details others overlook: a speck of mud, a misplaced object, a subtle hesitation in speech. Make it a habit to actively scan your surroundings. When you enter a room, consciously try to register 3 to 5 details you wouldn't normally notice. When listening to someone, pay attention not just to words, but to tone and body language. The smallest inconsistency can be the key to unlocking a larger puzzle. This isn't about memorizing trivia, but about training your brain to flag anomalies. To truly observe effectively, like Shinichi when he's on a case and intensely focused, you need 2. To minimize mental clutter for maximum focus. Our world bombards us with information. Constant notifications and the urge to multitask fracture our attention, making deep observation difficult. Imagine Shinichi trying to solve a case while scrolling through social media. It wouldn't happen. When you need to focus, whether on a complex problem, studying, or even just observing a situation, consciously put away distractions. Dedicate blocks of time to singular tasks. This isn't about becoming a hermit, but about creating space for deep, uninterrupted thought, a prerequisite for Shinichi's level of analysis. A clear mind can process information more effectively and spot connections that a cluttered mind would miss. Furthermore, a critical part of Shinichi's information gathering is 3, to ask probing questions, both internally and externally. He is always questioning: why is this here? What doesn't fit? What if? Don't take information at face value. Develop an inquisitive mindset. Before accepting something as a fact, consider its source, its implications, and any potential alternatives. When studying, don't just absorb, question the material. Why is this principle true? How does this connect to what I already know? This active engagement mirrors Shinichi's approach to a crime scene. Once you've gathered your clues, the real detective work begins. This is where Shinichi truly shines, connecting disparate pieces of information. At the core of this process is the need, 1, to embrace logical reasoning. Shinichi's famous line, "When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth," is his guiding principle. When faced with a problem or a set of facts, list out all possible explanations or solutions. Then, systematically evaluate each one against the evidence you've gathered. Eliminate those that contradict the facts. Develop if-then thinking. If X is true, then Y must also be true or false. This helps you trace logical consequences and identify inconsistencies. Shinichi often draws upon a vast, seemingly unrelated knowledge base to solve cases. His brilliance here lies in his ability to connect disparate information through pattern recognition, using history, science, literature, even trivial facts. He sees connections others miss. While you don't need to be an expert in everything, cultivate curiosity in diverse fields. The more varied your knowledge, the more potential connections your brain can make. Read widely, watch documentaries, learn new skills. Look for patterns and relationships in everyday situations or in the subjects you study. How does a concept in history relate to one in psychology? This cross-contextual thinking is key. Based on his deductions, Shinichi forms a theory of what happened. This involves the crucial step 3, to formulate and test hypotheses. He doesn't just stop at one possibility if the evidence is ambiguous. Don't be afraid to make educated guesses, hypotheses, based on your analysis. But remember, a hypothesis is not a conclusion. It's a starting point for further investigation or testing. He mentally tests his theories against all known facts. If a new piece of evidence contradicts his hypothesis, he revises or discards it. A deduction isn't complete until it's tested, proven, and often explained. A key part of this is 1. To seek corroborating evidence, embodying his one more thing principle. Shinichi often looks for that final piece of definitive proof, the one more thing that solidifies his conclusion and leaves no room for doubt. Don't settle for a plausible theory if you can find evidence to confirm it. In studying, this might mean finding multiple sources that support a concept. In problem solving, it means checking your solution. The goal is to move from probably true to demonstrably true. Even Shinichi sometimes has to rethink his initial deductions when new information comes to light. This highlights the importance, too, to reevaluate and refine your conclusions, what we can call the case review method. Periodically step back and review your entire chain of reasoning. Play devil's advocate with your own conclusions. Are there any holes, any unexamined assumptions? What if you're wrong? This strengthens your final conclusion and helps you learn from any analytical missteps. It's like Shinichi reenacting the crime in his mind to ensure every detail aligns. A hallmark of Shinichi's method is his ability to clearly and logically explain his deductions. The final step, then, is 3, to clearly articulate your reasoning, step by step, leading everyone to the inevitable truth. Try explaining a complex idea or your solution to a problem to someone else, or even to yourself out loud. Can you lay out your reasoning in a clear, logical sequence? If you struggle to explain it, there might be gaps in your own understanding. Articulation forces clarity of thought. If you can explain it simply, you truly understand it. I am developing a more in-depth guide on Anipreneur that will break down these deductive reasoning skills further with practical exercises you can use to sharpen your analytical mind. I've applied these principles of observation, deduction, and critical thinking to analyze complex narratives and character psychologies for this channel. My ability to deconstruct intricate plots or understand subtle character motivations for my videos has been honed by consciously applying these detective-like thinking processes, aiming to provide my viewers with insightful and well-reasoned content. If you guys are interested in a dedicated guide on these Shinichi-inspired thinking techniques, please let me know down in the comments, as I want to create content that truly helps you. So yeah, I hope you guys found these insights valuable. Please support Anipreneur by hitting the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.